Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, April the 30th, and I just wanted to jump on here and go over a few things that I'm running into quite frequently. And to be honest, these are quick fixes, okay? So one thing I'm hearing from folks is they're getting a lot of pushback at home, and that doesn't have to be an issue. I always lived by the rule: if you don't want it to be an issue, don't make it an issue. And one of those things is, and this is kind of a tough love feelish type of response from family, is family doesn't want to many times get on board with the food plan, right? So ultimately, it's not a food plan that's going to hurt anybody, but what it's going to do is it's going to support better vitality, better energy, better healing above all things. And I thought about that this morning as I woke up. And last night, I ate really clean last night. And I'm like everybody else. I go through times when, I'm tempted. If my minerals get depleted, if I perspire a lot, which is very common, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty on these talks, okay? Bodily functions are a routine conversation around here and in our house. But what it equates to is it equates to feeling better, having better energy, and ultimately unfolding into the person who you are designed to be. And if you don't have the food in place, if you don't have the rest in place, if you don't have the water in place, if you don't have the nutrient profile in place and the toxin removal in place, then your quality of life is going to suffer. There's no doubt about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts anymore. Because let's face it, our country has probably the most toxin exposure, and chemical exposure than most countries in the world. And we don't realize it. It happens gradually. It's very passive. So how do we combat that? It has to be built into our system of every day. So detoxification starts with water. It starts with sleep. Those are the main pillars. And you can also use your food choices. So as you transform your life, it becomes less of something you have to micromanage and actually devote mental capacity to, if you will, okay? Because if you just allow your life to be transformed this way, then you don't have to suffer in the same ways you have in the past. It becomes a new you. It's why our tagline is uncovering your best you, because it happens over a period of months, sometimes years for people, because we have people coming in that want to lose under 30 pounds, and then we have people coming in who want to lose over 100 pounds. So it's quite common to spend up to a year getting your body cleaned out from decades and decades of accumulation of toxins, okay? So it's not selfish at all. Sometimes we get this imposition on us from our surroundings, our circle of friends, or even our family members, where they think, well, you're just being selfish. You're just being self-centered because you're wanting to look better or look a certain way. I have way more people who sit in those black chairs and tell me, I don't need to look like a supermodel. I hear that all the time. They just want to feel better. And when it comes down to our food, that's what it equates to. We actually absorb what we're exposing ourselves to, whether it's good or bad. So the more good you expose yourself to, the more clean eating you expose yourself to, then that's what your body has at its disposal to absorb and to build your living tissue out of. So your energy, your mood, your capacity to be strong and to gain strength all depends on what you've let in right here, what passes your lips. So that's why I have so many people who get sideways or get sidetracked or just stall or plateau or get defeated or discouraged. I have them write food journals. It takes 30 seconds. You write the food journal, exactly what you've eaten, and that way it kind of auto-corrects because you're seeing what you're taking in your body. You're seeing what choices you're making. Not to beat yourself up, because we all fail, right? But that was one of my other points too that I'd written down. Why beat yourself up? Everyone's going to make mistakes. 100% of us are going to make mistakes. So just get over it, move on, learn from it, and then make a better choice each and every time. Get right back on the saddle. As far as your preparation time goes, you don't have to be a gourmet chef. A lot of people they look at this plan and they're like, oh, I have to be a cook. I have to be this super mom or super cook, and you don't really have to. You've got a couple choices. Here's your choices. Ready? You can do like my mother did. We grew up on a dairy farm. My mother said, here it is. Enjoy it. If you don't like it, there's the kitchen. That's called tough love. And a lot of people avoid that because they want to avoid the awkwardness of the conversation with their family. But I can guarantee you this, you only have to have that conversation one time. You know how I know? I lived through it. My mother had that conversation one time with us. And then we understood it. We understood exactly what she meant. There was perfect clarity there. So you don't have to approach it that way. I'm just saying that's an option. And because this is not selfish. You owe this to yourself. Because if you don't do this, ready? What will your future, what will your health picture look like down the road a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you don't do this for yourself, right? So that's a question I routinely ask patients, and I ask patients to ask themselves that because it's real. You don't want to go through life being depleted more and more, but that's what will happen if you don't do something about it, okay? So I know you've invested a lot of money, a lot of time. It's worthwhile. Pound for pound, this plan is cheaper than every plan out there commercially that you hear about. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem. I hear it from patients all the time. They say, oh my goodness, well, I spent way more on this on Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem, and it's not sustainable. You get that manual will always keep you on track with your food choices, okay? So I think I hit everything right there. And that's the last one. Take time for you, all right? I want to keep this under 10 minutes. Make time for yourself. This is so important. If you don't take time to disconnect from television, radio, cell phones, internet, all those major electronic distractors that chew up so much of our time today, social media, right? Take time for yourself just to sit in a quiet room, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes. Take that time, let your wheels just spin and process your day. Start your day that way. That's a great way to start your day. Many times I'll drive into work. I got a 20-minute drive to come into work, and I just won't even turn the radio on. I'll just sit and let the wind blow so I can think and clear my head and start that way. It's very productive. You don't realize how constructive it can be because you can narrow down what you want to accomplish today. Just write 3 things down. Each day, write 3 things down. This is what I'll do today, 3 things, and knock them out. And you watch what you get done in a week, right? 15 line items in a week. And I'm not even talking about the weekends. Weekends, take a break, you know? So just want to jump on here. These seem to be some common topics that come up during our consultation visits. And I know they're not related to food choices, but that becomes kind of automatic after a while because it's all written down. You know, you've got those guidelines in your manual. The things I'm helping patients sort through are the nitty-gritty when it comes to making life choices, getting balance back. Balance is so key. And you watch your kids, watch your spouse, watch your other friends who are taking notice of you right now. They're watching you, they're looking at you, they're paying attention. Not so much of what we say, but how we conduct ourselves, what our choices are that we're making. And you just watch how much improvement you'll make in someone else's life because you never know how far-reaching what you say or do will impact the lives of millions tomorrow. Have an awesome day.